Dear students, continuing with family study exercises, topic for today's discussion is socio-economic status. So in today's class, we will discuss about various definitions regarding socio-economic status, then what is the importance of calculation of socio-economic status, then different type of scales for the calculation of socio-economic status, and then we will conclude. So now what is socioeconomic status? The socioeconomic status is a simple index of income, education and occupation prestige. So social status is measured by education, economic position by the income and the work status by the occupation. So there are various methods, scales that have been proposed for classifying different populations by socioeconomic status. Out of this, we will be dealing with Kuppuswamy scale, then Uday Parikh scale, then modified BG Prasad scale, and then PDT scales. So these scales are developed by in the different times to assess the socioeconomic status with different ways. Before going to different methods of socioeconomic status, we should know what is the importance and the need of knowing the socioeconomic status of the society or the family which we are studying. So we know that the socioeconomic status is important factor influencing health, nutritional status, mortality and morbidity of a population. Socioeconomic status also influences the acceptability, affordability, accessibility, and actual on-ground utilization of various available health facilities. Resources are scarce, so there is need to identify the most needy. So sociologists often use socioeconomic status as means of predicting behavior. Now, what is the relationship of socioeconomic status with health? So different socioeconomic groups have a different pattern of health related issues. Like for higher socioeconomic class, the usually there is more prevalence of obesity and NCDs. On other hand, in low socioeconomic group, there is more prevalence of communicable diseases and malnutrition or nutritional deficiency related diseases. However, the access to healthcare services is better in high socioeconomic status group, while health access to health services is poor in low socioeconomic status groups. Now, incidence of disease, health patterns, utilization of health services, mode of delivery, child rearing practices, all are related to social class. Most commonly used indicator for classifying socioeconomic status of families poverty line. Poverty line has been defined by different committees and the definitions are updated time to time. So first definition is based on the calorie consumption. If a person is earning money that is not enough to manage 2400 kilocalories per person in rural area and 2100 kilocalories in urban area, then he or she is considered as below poverty line. So then there are different committees which gave the different amount to consume such calories. So income based definition, the latest one is Rangarajan Committee in 2014. It gave that 32 rupees per capita per day for rural area cutoff limit and 47 rupees per capita per day for urban area. Then World Bank definition, if person earns less than $1.9 per day, then she is below poverty line. So this was updated in 2015. So now coming to different scales for the estimation of socioeconomic status. The commonly used scales for urban area is Kuppuswamy, that is modified Kuppuswamy scale. For rural areas, Uday Parikh scale, and BG Prasad scale is for both urban and rural areas. So now we will be discussing these scales one by one. First is modified Kuppuswamy scale. So this is widely used scale in urban settings, measures the socio-economic status of an individual based on variables, namely the education of head of the family, occupation of the head of the family, and income of the whole family. So each component is given a score and then the total is summed. The level of income is updated on the basis of consumer price index. So now coming to the different components of Kuppuswamy scale. First of all, education. So here education of head of family is considered. So these are the different categories from highest. First is postgraduate or professional degree, then graduate degree, higher secondary certificate, high school certificate, middle school certificate, then literate, less than middle school certificate, and the last one is illiterate. So there are some recommended changes from the previous versions of this scale. These are that instead of intermediate, higher secondary, the category was labeled as higher secondary, and instead of primary, the category was named as literate less than middle school certificate. We will discuss the details in next slide. Important points in scoring of education. First, education of head. The scoring is only for the education of head of the family, irrespective of whether he or she was the subject or not. So whether you are interviewing some other person, but you have to ask the education of the head of the family. Then credit for completed milestones only. So the level of education to be considered should be the maximum level already attained, not the one currently undergoing and not yet completed. So now coming to various educational categories under the Kuppuswamy scale. First is the postgraduate or professional degree. So any post graduation or any high grade professional education like MBBS, BDS, or some bachelor in of engineering. The next is graduate degree, any graduation other than high grade professional education. Next is higher secondary, that is up to the plus 2 level, past plus 2. Then high school certificate, class 10th pass. Then the middle school certificate, class 8th pass. Next class is, initially it was named as primary, but it was in recent editions it was recommended to change the name of this class to literate less than middle school certificate. So literate would be as per the definition followed by Census of India, that is person aged 7 years or more who can read and write with understanding in any language. So initially it was named as primary this class. So if a person is studied up to 4th standard and is aged 7 years or more and is able to read and write, we can't fit it to primary because we consider only the completed level of education, and the next class is illiterate. So if we put that person to illiterate, then also it's against the definition. So that's why this category was renamed as literate less than middle school education. So anyone who is more than 7 years and not completed 8th standard will be and is able to read and write in any language will be added to this class. If a person aged 7 years or more cannot read or write with understanding in any language, or any person aged less than 7 years will be added in next category, that is illiterate. Now second component is occupation. So it will be also be of head of the family. So these are the different categories: professional, semi-professional, shop, clerical, shop owner, and farmer. So in the recent edition, it was advised to rename this category as arithmetic skill job. Then next is skilled worker, semi-skilled worker, unskilled worker, and unemployed. We will be dealing these categories in next slides. These are the scores. These are written on the right side are the scores of the for the each category. Now, what are the points in the scoring of occupation? First of all, occupation of head is considered. Then if a person is retired, so there is many times there is a confusion, so it is recommended that in case of the head of family is currently retired, credit may be given while scoring for his her last job held. So we can give the score according to his her last job from which he or she was retired. Then next important step is independent scoring. The scoring of the occupation is independent of the scoring in the education category. For example, if a lawyer who has never been employed ever after attaining his her professional degree, so lawyers are considered in professional in the educational category. So the scoring of the occupation would be unemployed if he or she is currently unemployed. So we will be not here considering him or her in the professional group. Next point is the name of the category, the clerical, shop owner, and farm owner. The original scale simply named this category as clerical, shop owner, farm owner, that are the just examples of the category. So revision recommends that this category be named as arithmetic skill jobs as they involve the arithmetic skills. Next is shopkeeper classification. These are the important points. So si size of the shop can vary from a small stall to a large store. So petty shopkeeper, that is a small time shopkeeper running only a small shop, being classified into a lower as is classified lower as a semi-skilled worker. So if a person, we will be discussing in detail in the next slides. So these are the different occupational categories. So professional, the salient points are decision making, formulating policies and execution of policies, jobs that need creative work, jobs involving high organizational ability and control of large number of humans, or jobs that involve dealing with large amount of money. Most require very high journal or professional education, but this is not compulsory. So this is important point. So as we have already discussed that this category should be labeled irrespective of the educational category. So a person may not be having a professional education, but his job status may be such that he may be controlling large number of human, he may be a wider public leader. So if his role is fitting to these criteria, he or she may be considered as professional by occupation. Next is semi-professional, the jobs requiring post high school education but routine nature of jobs. Then arithmetic skill jobs, the category which was initially termed as clerical, shop owner, and farmer. So jobs that require some training in arithmetic and probably also reading, writing, but jobs that are basically repetitive in nature. The arithmetic skill in context of higher arithmetic skills required for job. Skilled worker, long training in complicated work, jobs that require some training. Semi-skilled worker, so no education or training is required. Unskilled worker, irrespective of educational level, so he is not specialized in any work like laborers. Then is unemployed, that is self-explanatory, who is not employed, not working in any of the occupation. So various examples of occupational categories. We have tried to classify some of the common occupations in above mentioned categories. However, this classification is flexible as actual nature of work decides the occupational category. You are advised to take help of above mentioned criteria for classifying various occupations. So first is professional group. So in which doctors, senior administrative officers, senior lecturers, college principals, advocates, expert musicians, newspaper editors, auditors, then architects, managing directors of firms, bank managers, professional players and athletes, fashion designers, owners of schools or colleges, professional artists. Next category is semi-professional, which may include high school teachers, lecturers, junior administrators, insurance inspectors, commission agents, musicians, research assistants, paramedical health workers, nursing staff, librarian, public relation officers, medical representatives, pharmacists, air hostess, etc. Then next is arithmetic skill jobs. So examples may include like clerks, accountant, typist, elementary school teacher, farm owner, shopkeeper, salesman, insurance agent, news journalist, cashier, insurance agents, salesman, typist, traveling ticket inspectors, property dealers, shopkeepers, catering contractors, boutique owners, receptionists. Next is skilled workers. So this category includes drivers, telephone operators, masons, carpenter, mechanic, electrician, plumber, chefs, cooks, bakers, photographer, makeup artist, gym trainer, tattoo artist, builders, barbers, automobile mechanic, pet trainers, firefighter, tailor, fisherman, beauty parlor workers, cobbler, florist. Then semi-skilled workers, factory or workshop laborers, laboratory or library attendants, car cleaner, petty shopkeepers, that is small shopkeepers, hawkers, vendors, bodyguards, gardeners, security guards with gun training. So all these are included in semi-skilled category. So unskilled workers are like watchmen, peons, domestic servants, rickshaw pullers, housemaid, waste collector, housekeeper, laborers, etc. So unemployed is the last category, the lowest category consisting of persons who are unemployed irrespective of their general and professional education or training. So the last and the third component of Kuppuswamy scale is income of the family. So here we inquire the total family income, not per capita income. So this income should be updated. So income categories to be used for the scale can be determined using the interactive online calculator provided at this link. Before proceeding further, I want to discuss a important point with you. So this is your third exercise. First is family biodata, then second is physical environment of the family. So we expect that you have visited this family for 3-4 times. before going for this exercise. Why I am discussing this point? Because asking someone's income is a very sensitive issue. So the if you have not built a good rapport with your family, they may not tell you this, or they may be uncomfortable telling you their income. So you have to assess this. Maybe if you have if you have a good rapport, then you can ask them. If they are not willing to tell the income, then you have to assess it indirectly from the different methods which we will be discussing in further slides. So this is a real-time update. Here you will go to the link that was described in previous slide. So this in this we will be requiring the consumer price index. For getting the updated income categories for Kupuswamy scale, uh, we will be requiring consumer price index. So it is defined as a comprehensive measure used for estimation of price changes in goods and services representative of consumption expenditure in economy. So to get the consumer price index, we have to visit the website of Labor Bureau. So here we get the consumer price index. So this is the consumer price index for industrial workers in for the month of August 2020. It was 338. For this, the base year was considered 2001. So after that August 2020, the base year have been changed to 2016. So considering the consumer price index of 2016 as 100, the consumer price index of further in years is calculated. So, but the link for the real-time update is using the consumer price index for 2000 for the base year of 2001. Now, Labor Bureau had said that there is a conversion factor which is 2.88. Like for if that Labor Bureau is giving the CPI of industrial worker of Feb or like for March is 119.6. To calculate the consumer price index as per the base year 2001, we have to multiply 119.8 into 2.88. That comes out to be 345. Why we have done so? Because that the link which was shared in previous slide, that real uptime update is not yet updated for this 2016 base year consumer price index. That scale update is still using 2001 base year of consumer price index. So summarizing, we have to visit the Labor Bureau website. It gives us the consumer price index. So it was giving the consumer price index as per the base year 2016, but we were requiring the consumer price index for the base year 2001. So we multiplied this with the conversion factor of 2.88. So the consumer price index for the March 2021 comes out to be 345. It was not available for the April or May. So it is updated a little later. So now we have calculated consumer price index. Now we will fill it in a window provided there, and it will calculate the categories for the income. So these are the income categories as per the consumer price index of March 2021. So if the income is family income is more than 53,209, the score given is 12. If it is between 26,605 and 53,208, score given is 10. So these are the further categories. You have to update these categories in your files because it is updated according to consumer price index. So now after calculating the scores and cumulative score of three categories, we calculate the social class. So for education, occupation and income, we sum up the scores of all the categories. Then if the cumulative score is between 26 and 29, it is the upper class. If it is between 16 and 25, it is upper middle class. Then if it is between 11 to 15, it is lower middle. If it is between 5 to 10, then upper lower. And if less than 5, lower class. So, so what are the issues with Kuppuswamy scale? It is giving emphasis only on the education and occupation of head of the family. So head of the family may not be having a higher education or the occupation may not be of higher category, but his family members, his or her family members may be having higher education. So this gives a low socioeconomic status of this family. Thus, an uneducated, unskilled member of a family with a high income from a high business is likely to be kept in low category even though he has good standard of living and can afford good health. So does not necessarily reflect the standard of living or other human development indicators such as sanitation and health. Moreover, the consumer price index has to be determined to multiply the income groups to get the appropriate groups for that year. So it has to be updated regularly. The accurate measurement of the family income is also difficult, as we have already discussed. Now, the second scale, that is Uday Parikh scale. So this is widely used scale in rural setting. It measures the socioeconomic status of an individual based on variables, namely caste, occupation, education, land holding, social participation, family size, housing, farm power, and material possession. So each component is given a score and then total is summed and categorized into several classes. So these are the different components: caste, scheduled caste, lower caste, artisan class, like if when some caste is linked to the occupation like Kumyar, Tarkhan, etc. These are the artisan classes. Then agricultural class, caste, prestige caste, and dominant caste. These scales were developed way earlier. So then the more stringent class system was there. Also the caste system of the Punjab, here it is not much stringent as it is in the many other parts of the country. So you may feel that the different components of this scale are not updated, uh, but that's why we are using different scales. We are using more than one scale. So there may be drawbacks in a scale because uh, they are not updated according to the change in the society. So, but you have to apply the scales, then we can comment what are the drawbacks we have uh, perceived while using these scales. The first component is the caste. Sometimes there is a confusion between prestige class and dominant class. So prestige class is that class which is considered to be a prestigious class, like Pandit or Brahmin. A prestigious class may not be a dominant caste in an area. Like for a uh, our field practice area, that is the village Nakala, there the dominant class is Kamboj caste. So that is the caste which is the people which are more in the number, which are mainly dominating the decision making of the village. So these are the different. You have to classify according to these categories. Next category is occupation. So non laborer, caste occupation. So occupation which is linked to a caste like If someone is a, like Tarkhan, carpenter caste, like Nai, Darji, Kumyar. So these are the different caste occupations. Then business, independent profession, cultivation, and service. So these are the scores for each occupation. If you feel some doubts or if you are facing some issues, you can ask us, you can contact us for the clarification, further clarification. Then education, illiterate, can read only, can read and write, primary up to the 5th class, middle up to the 8th class, high up to the 10th, then graduate, then above graduation. So these are the scores for the education. Then next is land. No land less than 1 acre, 1 to 5 acres, 5 to 10 acres, 10 to 15 acres, 15 to 20 acres, and more than 20 acres. So these are the scores for these categories. Then social participation, none, member of a one organization, member of more than one organization, office holder in such organization, wider public leader. So as we are giving higher scores for the more social participations. Then family members up to 5 score is 2, then above 5 score is 1. Next is house, no house, hut, kacha house, then kacha pakka house, that is mixed house, then pakka house, then mansion. Next category is farm power, like animals used for farming, the draught animals, animals used for pulling heavy load, buffalo, like cows, etc. If one or two draught animals, then score is 2, 3 or 4, then score is 4. If 5 to 6 draught animals or tractor is there, then score given is 6. Then the last one is material possession. So only take the score of highest category and do not add scores if more than one possession in a category. So like if they are having the mobile phone, then only take 4. That is the highest score. If they are not having television or refrigerator, then they take the score of mobile phone. If they are having 3 or 4 mobile phones, then dot multiply this score. If we will add the score of each mobile phone, then this subgroup will be having more impact on socioeconomic status. So this will dominate and the effect of other categories will be minimized. So we will be taking only the score of highest category and we will not be adding the score if there is more than one possession in this category, in each category. So then we accumulate, sum up the scores, and then according to the scores we grade the family into grade 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Then what are the issues with Uday Parikh scale? So there is no emphasis on economic aspects as income was not asked. Can only be used for rural subjects. Contain too many components that are difficult to assess. Also, it is not updated according to the change in the society. So then is the modified BG Prasad scale. So this scale is what can be used in urban and rural settings. So it is also based on consumer price index. So there is a multiplication factor and it is then using that multiplication factor and consumer price index, the income category is calculated. So here the income which is used is per capita income, not total family income. So per capita income is calculated by dividing the total family income by number of family members. So this is the updated uh, BG Prasad socioeconomic scale as per capita incomes. So as per the consumer price index of March 2021, which we have already discussed in earlier slide that it is 345. So using this consumer price index, the various categories are like if the income is more per capita income is more than 7,875, so it is social class 1. So similarly these are the different social classes. These are purely based on the per capita income, no other factor is used. So this scale is also you can also access the real-time update for this scale at this provided link. Next scale is PDT scale. This scale was developed by Department of Community Medicine, Government Medical College, Amritsar. So it was prepared on the basis of modern amenities present in the house. So if a person is having these amenities for professional business reason, it will not be included in the scale. Next important point is uppermost score in each category should be allotted only. No addition in score if more than one amenity is present in each category. We will discuss in next slide. The first group is vehicle. So these are the vehicles and this is the scoring. So this is the indicative, rough indicative value of that possession and the respective scores. Next is the audio visual aids like TV, radio, LED TV, computer, home theater, and these are the respective scores for each group. Then washing system, no washing machine, simple machine. Simple machine means having only washer. Semi-automatic having washer and spinner. Then fully automatic machines, cooling systems, fan, cooler, AC, refrigerator, no, single door, or double door more than 400 liters. So every amenity is given a score. We have to take the score of the highest group. Like if a family is having one single door fridge and one double door fridge, then the score will be taken for the highest category, that is 3. Another example, if some family is having 4 air conditions, 5 fans, so we will be using the score of the highest category, that is air condition AC, and that will not be multiplied, like it will not be 4 into 3 12. So score will be 3. So that after getting the score from each group, then we uh, total the score, that cumulative score. If it is come out to be more than 18, then it is upper class, family belongs to upper class. 14 to 18 upper middle class, 9 to 13 lower middle, 5 to 8 upper lower, and 0 to 4 is lower lower. So this was the PDT scale. Now this is the comparison of the scales like Uday Parikh scale, Kuppuswamy and BG Prasad. Income was not Their income was not considered in Uday Parikh scale. Education, it was missing in BG Prasad, as BG Prasad was only based on per capita income. Occupation was asked in Uday Parikh, Kuppuswamy, but it was missing in BG Prasad. Caste, it was asked in Uday Parikh. So this is the comparison, that what different type of indicators which are used by different scales. So one important thing is that Uday Parikh should be used for rural area, Kuppuswamy should be used for urban or some peri-urban areas, and BG Prasad can be used for both areas as it is based on per capita income. So summarizing in the end, we discussed various definitions related to socioeconomic status, poverty line, then the importance of socioeconomic status. Then we discussed the different type of scales used for socioeconomic status. Then we discussed in detail modified Kuppuswamy scale, modified BG Prasad scale, Uday Parikh scale, and PDT scale. So we also compared the scales. Then we know now that which scale is used in which setting, rural or urban setting. We are knowing the importance of these scales, as this will help us to determine the action plan for the family. So various upcoming exercise will be based on this socioeconomic status of the family. For example, like nutritional status assessment, when you will be planning the nutritional or diet plan for family member, you can plan better if you know the socioeconomic status of the family. So you can then recommend according to according to their budget or availability. Thank you.